My name is Priyanka Singh. I work for HSBC UK. I'm part of HSBC's co-brand business with John Lewis Partnership, where my responsibility is for the growth and profitability of the business. My 12 years at HSBC have very much been about understanding how do you run a successful business. So the roles that I've chosen have been around understanding our customers, our people, the commercials and the risk that go in making sure we can run and deliver a successful business that works for the customers and also delivers responsible returns. There's one mentor that definitely sticks in my mind, who when I was working with him, he said to me that I would always swim against the current. And obviously I wanted to understand more about that, and was to him that meant about challenging the status quo, solving problems, not always taking the complacent route of doing something because it's always been done that way. And he said to me to continue to keep doing that, because that makes you both stronger in your values and your principles, and also makes your work and life more interesting. So I have continued with that advice. I think I would recommend anyone starting out in their career probably a couple of things. The first thing would be to play to your strengths. We spend a lot of time just looking at our development areas and coming up with plans to build them. I think we need to almost flip that and start by first understanding what are our strengths, identifying them and build them, whilst also working on areas that we need to develop. That would be my first advice. The second advice would be, I strongly believe in being a student for life. So your learning doesn't stop just because you finish your formal education and you've now started a role. You need to be a continuous learner, because that just helps you put your best foot forward. And my final advice would be, build a support network around you of peers, of mentors, of sponsors, because you can then call on them when you need help at different stages in your career. I think tenacity and follow through is quite critical, because we can sometimes get very excited when our objectives are set out up front and it's the start of the year and we've got the strategy laid out, but sometimes we fall short if we don't follow it through. So it is about having some very clear checkpoints, and it is about making sure we have the commitment to actually agree to coming together at those checkpoints, bringing together our successes, the things that have worked, the things that still need our focus, and almost following through with a relentless commitment of following through and checking back with what we agreed, rather than just setting it up front and then almost getting lost in the day-to-day detail and never coming back to it. So I think, to me, it is about bringing away from the detail, looking at a sense check against the objectives, and doing this on a regular basis helps us keep track of how we are performing against those priorities. My aspiration is to be a leader that runs a business that delivers value for customer. I think when I bring that down to what does that mean immediately, I am operating within a lending and payment space. So the focus immediately is about designing products and solutions that are tackling customer pain points, that are tackling what customers are looking for, that are tackling customer trends around speed, convenience, ease, and making sure that we are delivering to that need of the customer. I've been with HSBC for the last 12 years, so I needed to look outside in terms of broaden my horizon and understand what's happening outside in the market, both from a professional perspective but also from a personal development perspective. And Winmark was recommended to me by one of the voice coaches that I met when I attended a session with Women in Banking and Finance. I was meeting people from across sectors and across different scale and size of organizations, but I was surprised to see we were all facing the same problems, which thinking backwards, I thought each organization has got its own sets of problems that we need to work through, but I was very surprised how there was so much commonality in the sort of problems that we were facing. And then that also meant that with these networks, I can work through and understand, so how can we solve these problems? What have different organizations and different people tried? What can we learn from that? And what can I bring back in to try within my own space of work?